In this video, we're going to go through a complete step-by-step guide on how to get your real estate license and start your real estate career in the state of Indiana. In this video, we're going to cover some important things like some of the real estate pre-license requirements. We're also going to cover how to pick the perfect first brokerage to give yourself the highest chance of success. And at the end of the video, we're going to go into how much it actually costs to get licensed in the state of Indiana. Let's dive right into the video. My name is Chris with the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about real estate, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. Before we get started, I want to offer you our free How to Get Licensed and Start Your Real Estate Career Guide. Everything in this video, plus more, is inside that guide. So if you want your copy, click the link down below and download it. Let's dive into some of the requirements to get you started. First things first, you have to meet some of the basic criteria that Indiana has put in place. The first thing is you have to be 18 years old or older. You must be a legal resident in Indiana, and you can't have any fraud or any real estate related misrepresentation on your record. So this is going to be done through your background check, and they want to make sure that you don't have anything that's going to prevent you from getting licensed. Next, you have to meet some of the basic requirements in regards to your pre-licensed education. In the state of Indiana, you're required to complete 90 hours of state-approved pre-licensed education. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. 90 hours can be a ton of time, especially if you have a 9-to-5 job, another business, or if you just have a crazy busy schedule. Because of this, we highly recommend you check out Colibri Real Estate School. They offer real estate classes online. They have awesome reviews, and you can do this at the flexibility of your own schedule. So if you want to check them out, they oftentimes have some sales running too. There's an affiliate link down in the description below, and you can click that and see what kind of discounts and sales they have going on. Next, you're going to want to get your fingerprinting and background check done. So in the state of Indiana, you're required to get a background check and fingerprinting done. So get that out of the way. And in the meantime, you can start studying for your exam. Once that's done, you're going to want to schedule your exam with PSI testing centers. Now, when you schedule the exam, you're going to want to schedule this at least one day in advance, and you're going to want to bring a couple basic things. The first thing is a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam. And the second thing is going to be 2 forms of identification. Now, taking the exam is one of the most nerve-wracking parts of this entire experience. You put 90 hours of work in, you're really trying to make this happen, and you're wondering, are you going to pass or fail? So I want to offer you a couple quick tips that will help you pass the exam, because the truth is a lot of people actually do fail the exam. But the good news is, even if you do fail, you can retake it. So don't be too nervous. The next thing to do is use the process of elimination technique. And what I would do is I would go through each question, read it multiple times, and then eliminate the ones that are absolutely not the right answer. And that should only leave you with 1 or 2 that could be the right answer. So if you use this technique, it will definitely help. Now, the exam is multiple choice. There's only 120 questions on the exam, and you have 2.5 hours to complete it. So don't rush through this process. The majority of people that fail usually rush through it, and they don't reread the questions a couple different times to make sure that they understand what's being asked. I actually did this myself. When I was going through it, I would read the question, then I would read it again, and I noticed I was going to break the wrong answer down because I didn't really thoroughly read the answer and I was kind of rushing through things. So if you spend your time to reread things, you have a much higher chance of passing, because sometimes the questions can be worded and they can be a little tricky. So with that being said, last but not least, if you absolutely still feel like you might not pass the exam, you can use something called Prep Agent. I actually used Prep Agent when I was studying for my exam, and it made me feel a lot more confident in passing. So if you want to check them out, there's an affiliate link down below. And what it is, it's basically a tool to study, and it puts you through test-like simulations that are very similar to what the exam's going to be like. And when you answer the question, it will tell you if you got it right or if you got it wrong. It will explain why you got it wrong and the reason, the right answer is the right answer. So this can be a really powerful way to study, but you might not need that. You might just need some basic flashcards, and you might feel comfortable going to the exam and getting things done. Either way, just know if you pass or fail, you can still take it again. And the majority of agents that fail the exam turn out being really good real estate agents. So just because you fail doesn't mean you're going to be bad at real estate. It just means you have to study a little bit harder and get things done. Now it's time to celebrate and find your sponsoring broker. Now this part is a tricky part because it's actually the easiest part because most brokerages will take you on as a new agent, but you've got to be really careful with this part because the truth is 87% of real estate agents that get into this business actually fail out of the business because they don't have the right support, the right mentorship, or the right training. So I want to give you a couple questions to ask when you're interviewing real estate brokers. The very first one is, what is the mentorship program like you have in place? And do I have access to a mentor? And how many deals do I have access to this mentor for? I would suggest finding a brokerage that gives you a mentor for the first 3 to 5 deals. This will help you, and if you're going through this process and you're working with clients and something comes up and you're really uncomfortable, you don't know how to work the deal, you can easily pick up your phone and say, hey, I need help. And if you have a good mentor, they're going to answer, they're going to walk you through it, and it's going to be no problem. And this will make this business a lot more fun and a lot less stressful for you as a brand new agent. Number 2, you want to find a good training program. So training programs and one-on-one mentorship are 2 very different things. Mentorship is someone that is there to help you out when you need them, someone with experience. But a training program can be something like training modules that they have that will walk you through every single step to getting your business off the ground. I would highly suggest finding a brokerage that has these training modules in place, or maybe they have classes every week that you can attend. But this is very important, and I would definitely make sure that they have something that's going to walk you through things, because your mentor can be great. And even the best mentors won't have time to sit with you every single day because they're still probably in production, they're still probably selling, and they might just not have time to walk you through every single little step. And that can lead to some frustration as a new agent. So you want to make sure you have both things in place. That way you can get your business off the ground as quick as possible. Number 3, ask how you're going to get business. The majority of brokerages are going to say, call your friends and family. This can be great, but if you don't have a big network, this might not work for you. If you do have a big network, this might be the perfect thing. So find out how they're training their agents to get business. This is a very important thing because you want to make sure the brokerage you're at is in alignment with how you want to build your business. So asking questions like this can be very important to set the framework and, set clear expectations up front and make sure you get into the brokerage that's the perfect fit for you. Next, let's talk about the money. So this is the last conversation you want to have, but it's still a conversation you want to have. You want to find out what commission split you're going to get, and you want to find out how much support you're getting for that commission split. Now, if I was starting all over again, I would go to a brokerage that has a lot more support and training with a lower split than a brokerage that has a very high split with no training, because 100% of nothing is still nothing. Next, you're going to submit your license application. So your license application is going to be done. You're going to put it in the mail. You're going to put your past background check, your past real estate pre-license classes, your certificate, and you're going to put your past proof that you passed the real estate exam. You're going to send that out, and you're going to wait for them to send you something back with your license. So now you are a licensed real estate agent and you should be celebrating. But before you celebrate too much, you have to go back to school within the first year for another 30 hours in the state of Indiana. So doing your post-license education is very important, but you do have a year to get that done. Next, I want to talk to you about some of the costs associated with getting this done, because I know this is a big question for people that are considering getting started with this. They're wondering how much they need to budget. So here's a quick breakdown of how much you actually need to budget to get this done. The very first thing is your pre-license education. Now, I would budget between $300 and $500 to get this done, depending on what school you go to. Next, you have a fingerprinting fee. So this is part of your background check, and I would budget about $50 to get this done. After that, you have your exam fee, which is about $63. Once that's all done, you're going to submit your application, which is about $30. Then when you pick your brokerage, you might have some fees associated with that, and E&O insurance. So E&O insurance, I would budget between $200 and $500 per year. So all in all, it's not that expensive to get your real estate license. I would budget between $1,000 and $1,500 to get this done. But the hardest part about it is just doing the work, doing the pre-license education, and getting started. If you have any questions about getting your license, drop it in the comment section below. And if you got your license, comment, hashtag completed the course. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your success. And if you like this kind of content for real estate entrepreneurs, hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.